On August the 26th, 1883, the tiny volcanic island of Krakatau erupted, creating one of the worst natural disasters in recorded history. In less than 48 hours, it destroyed hundreds of towns and villages and left more than 36,000 people dead. Indonesia. There are more than 100 active volcanoes here. Krakatau is just one of them. The volcanic island of Krakatau sits in the middle of the Sunda Straits, 30 miles from the mainland. For centuries, the people here have lived within sight of the volcano.
It's doing it again, Mama. The world's shivering. Winner, win! That's it. No, it isn't.
On the 20th of May, Krakatau began for the first time to emit vast quantities of smoke. It should have been a warning to us, but for some, this was just a chance to make money.
Menanam lada putih mereka mencukai pendapatan kita. Inilah cara-cara pembuli dan penyangak. Inilah masa untuk kita sadar.
On the 27th of May, 1883, the steamship Loudon took 86 paying passengers on a day trip to Krakatau.
Look at them. Fools. They're paying fools, Lindemann. God in heaven.
Whoa! 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 How far to wait from Thor? 3 miles, sir. Quick as you can. Hey!
I didn't know then what the volcano...
Sound the horn, Mr. Jansen, we're leaving!
Well, what about the guests?
The guests paid in advance, I hope. I understand, Mr. Jansen.
But you can't just leave them.
Can't we?
Be careful with the satchel.
Sherman!
Divided into 532,000. That makes it nearly 5 miles high.
Well?
Precisely.
There is a problem with my license, Tuan. I thought the contracts were...
Contracts are in order, John. It's just... My man couldn't get the coolies for the pepper harvest, that's all.
So the money?
I need more time.
I had your word. The word of a Dutchman.
Just give me 3 weeks until the harvest.
I'm a businessman, Mr. Bejerik. I have a license and obligations. Perhaps your colleague in Batavia would be interested to know how much you owe me.
How dare you?
The last batch, sir.
Get them stowed by nightfall. Leaving with the tide.
Aye, aye, sir.
At 10 a.m. that Sunday, Captain Lindemann docked at Anya to pick up a consignment of Chinese workers, or coolies as we call them. Their destination was Telok Betong to the north. It was a journey they'd never complete.
All right, move it up down here. Now let's stop and get the show down that way.
The northerly course that Lindemann steered would take him closer to the volcano than anyone else that day.
What are you doing?
I'm measuring the height of the ash cloud. It's basic mathematics.
But what is it that you do?
I try to understand the world, how it works.
Do you understand the volcano?
It's a complex geological process. It was formed millions of years ago, before man.
My people, we are not afraid of the volcano.
I was convinced that something dreadful was going to happen.
And secure the warehouses, march the arsenal and pistol the telegraph office. I want a line open to Batavia, is that clear? Yes, sir! I need a detachment in the town and on the coast road. Now go, you know, please! Go!
By now, the volcano was in full eruption. Every second, almost 1 million cubic meters of ash, rock and pumice were being forced out of the vent, crashing down the mountainside. This avalanche had an extraordinary effect on the sea. It caused unpredictable swells and rapid tidal movements. The volcano was about to claim its first victims.
Bagaimana kamu? Anda mencuri kita nanti.
Aku akan cari kamu semua. Sekarang pergi.
Aku tak boleh meninggalkan kamu. door. Quickly, go into the bedroom.
What are we doing, Mama?
Hide! Hide! I said get in the cupboard now! In the cupboard now!
In less than an hour, the column of ash was 30 miles high, fanning out in all directions. Soon it would engulf both.
No! You can't! Come back! You can't!
I had thought that 30 miles of ocean would protect us from Krakatau. But what we had seen so far was just the beginning.
They went into the hailstone with the others. You must miss them very much.
8:30 p.m. The Loudon had now been at sea for more than 12 hours. Around it, the ash was sucking moisture from the air.
We reached our hill farm by the late afternoon, and in my heart I thanked God that we'd at last reached safety. But God cannot have been listening, because the worst horror was yet to come.
You all know me and know you can trust me. You're under my protection. And by God, I shall do my duty by you. You're my children. There's no need to be frightened. You're safe here. My family are here with me. And I shall stay with you as I shall stay with them. May God be with us all.
That morning, there was no dawn on Krakatau. Throughout the night, the explosions increased. A series of booms could be heard hundreds of miles away. The volcano was entering a new phase.
You'd be killed. What will that achieve?
Don't you understand? This is all my fault.
What's your fault? How can this be your fault?
I should have known. I could have warned them. I can still warn them. The sea is coming!
Our After 20 hours of constant eruption, the magma chamber of Krakatau was empty. With nothing to support it, the volcano began to collapse. The resulting blast was so great it was heard 3,000 miles away in Australia, the loudest noise in recorded history. Millions of tons of ash and pumice poured into the ocean, triggering a tsunami more destructive than anything that had come before.
You turned the ship about!
What are you doing? I'm doing everything in my power, believe me. We can't put in the Tilok Baton. The harbor's been destroyed.
How is it possible?
What does that mean?
Quiet! Listen to him.
The closer to land, the higher the waves. The sea swept it away.
Where are we going?
I'm taking her out to sea. We're all in the greatest danger. We have to face the truth. If it's God's will...
What are you saying?
I'm saying I'd gladly give my life to save any one of yours.
The collapsing volcano had unleashed a final avalanche of scalding ash and pumice. Where it made contact with the water, it rode on a cushion of steam. Ash, gas and pumice, heated to more than 500 degrees centigrade, ripped across the ocean towards the highlands of southern Sumatra.
Get inside. Get inside now, quick! Into the back! Quickly! Get into the back room here! Into the back!
The parents left their devastated farm hut. Of the 3,000 natives who fled to the highlands, more than 1,000 died. They suffered horrific burns from ash and pumice. Elsewhere, it was the tsunami that killed. Captain Lindeman was awarded the Cross of Gold by the Dutch authorities for his bravery in saving the lives of those on board the Loudon. His logbook provided an invaluable insight into the eruption of Krakatau. He captained the Loudon until his death, just 2 years later. The eruption destroyed 165 coastal villages, and it left more than 36,000 people dead. There were reports of bodies and pumice being washed up on the coast of Africa a year later. The Dutch authorities ordered 250,000 gallons of gasoline to be used in the burning of the bodies.
Far-reaching effects. 20 million tons of sulfur were released into the atmosphere, causing extraordinary sunsets across the planet and lowering global temperatures well into the 20th century. Of Krakatau itself, almost nothing remained. 12 square miles of solid rock had disappeared in the space of 48 hours. The volcano had literally blasted itself apart. But in 1927, from 300 meters below the Sunda Straits, it erupted again. As Verbeek predicted in his writings, a new volcano formed, growing at a rate of 5 meters every year. The Indonesians called this volcano Anak Krakatau, son of Krakatau. Today, millions of people live within sight of it. And it's still growing.